Good evening, parents. Mrs. P here again. And tonight I'm going to make a really quick video, and I mean quick. I hope. So a real quick video on what we discussed in class today. We really discussed two things. The latter we're going to discuss more tomorrow. So tonight I'm just going to do a little snippet on the first thing that we discussed in class. And that was using algebraic expressions. So if you talk to your students at home, they know we've started algebra. Of course, I've stated that in every video. And we've discussed three things already. How to solve exponents when they're in expressions, how to write expressions, and how to solve expressions, and not just numerical expressions any longer. We're now working on algebraic expressions, meaning there's something in that expression that is not known. There's a letter, which we now call a variable, placed in that expression, and we don't know what it is. Only two ways we can solve that problem, and that is tell us what the solution is, what is the answer to the problem, or tell us what the variable stands for. And tonight, and what we did today in class is, once we understand this information, your student will look at me and say, when am I ever going to use this? And I have to let them know, you use it all the time. Algebra, and I mentioned this in videos as well, is solving something that is unknown. Example I used with your kids today. You packed their lunch. You gave them a pudding. What could be a problem that mom or dad did? And immediately they said, they didn't give me a spoon. And that's a problem. And they're going to try to solve that. Now, many of them said they just stick their finger in it and eat it that way. I told them that would probably not be good with this virus going around, you know. So they would go to the kitchen and get a spoon. Go to our cafeteria and get a spoon. Well, in life, there are going to be problems like that. And it's using mathematics. So, in using algebraic expressions in the real world, we want to watch the words and, ask ourselves, not asking ourselves, ask yourself, I think I didn't write that correctly, but you get the gist. Ask yourself what you have, what is missing, and what can I do to figure this out? So a few examples I've used in class. You got 20 bucks. Gas is $2.19 a gallon. You'll love this part. Get ready. Your Jetson mobile, and if you're my age parents, you understand who the Jetsons are. Your Jetson mobile holds 15 gallons worth of gas. This is algebra. Now, I told your kids they're not going to run up to TrexMart and go, give me a minute, ma'am. I'm going to go use my algebra at the pump, and I'll come back and tell you how much my gas is. But they'll be doing it. I asked them, if it takes you a full tank of gas in your car to get to work Monday through Friday, and this is all you've got till Friday, can you get back and forth to work every day, Monday through Friday, if it takes a full tank of gas? Well, the students are going to ask themselves, if gas costs me $2.19 a gallon and I can only spend $20, can I fill that car up? That's algebra, prayers. Now, you don't go and say algebra either. You just go, hey, I can tell right away. $2.19 a gallon? I'm not going to be able to get 15 gallons because you know $2.19 times 10 gallons is going to be over your $20. That's algebra. That's real world experiences. And they're going to have to learn to use that in the real world. And that's what we're working on. What do you see? What do you think you have? What's missing? And how in the world are you going to figure out what's missing? That's like the pudding in the lunchbox with no spoon. That's like you only got 20 bucks and you got to get to work every day of the week. Another one we used today, which I'll leave you with, is say you are an architect. Hopefully I said it right. I tell the kids I say that word all the time. I had troubles with my R's when I was little. I don't know if it's any better now that I'm older. But say you're that person that builds those buildings, and you draw out a building, and you say, today we use 12 foot, we're just going to say they're 10 foot floors. Between every floor, there's 10 foot. You might ask yourself how tall that building is. Well, that's great. How tall is that building in height? Can you tell me how tall? Well, not unless you know how many floors there are. That's algebra. That's missing. Or I could say, hey, the building is 200 feet tall. Can you tell me how many floors there are if you know that each floor is 10 foot? You have to know a certain piece of information in order for algebra to work. If you don't have the solution or the variable that's missing, then you won't be able to solve it. Well, technically you can if you want to just keep guessing forever. I don't want to help you raise children who guess throughout their life. I want them to know that they actually can do it and get it right. Because these things, they can get right. Or at least know how to solve the problem they're facing. And that's algebra. Using it in the real world. Tomorrow we're going to continue working on combining like terms and algebraic expressions. I'll make a new video for that. But until then, I'll see you all later. Have a nice evening.